Welcome to our first video of Unit 4. In this video, we are going to determine what value makes an equation true. So evidence-wise, we're going to understand if an equation is true. What does that actually look like? We're going to check how we can check if an equation is true. And then we're going to find a variable that makes an equation true. They're all basically the same thing. We're trying to figure out, are equations true or not? Learning experience is there at the bottom. You can look at that if you'd like. But we are going to roll right along to our first slide here. So, if we look at this problem, we know that x is equal to 4. So, if we know that x is equal to 4, we want to check, does 3 times x plus 2 equal 14? The best way to do so is just to substitute your x with a 4. So we're going to rewrite our expression like so. We are now just going to do PEMDAS. 3 times 4 is 12. We'll rewrite the rest of our expression. We'll do 12 plus 2 next, which is 14. And last time I checked, 14 is equal to 14.
Obviously.
So we know that for this expression, for this equation rather, x definitely equals 4. That is a true equation. Now, let's check the next one. Does 2x plus 5 equal 13? Again, we said that x was 4. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to substitute x with the 4. Rewrite the rest of our expression. 2 times 4 is 8. Plus 5 is 13. 8 plus 5, 13 is equal to 13. So, we know that this one is true as well. So both of these equations, both of these equations are in fact true. Fun fact, I actually meant to make that second one a false one. So let's do one more. We'll just do it real simple like. What if we have an equation that looks like 3x plus 2 is equal to 7, because I know that can't possibly be the correct answer. So we'll do the same thing that we've been doing again. We'll substitute in our expression there. 3 times 4 is 12. We already did this. 12 plus 2 is 14. Does 14 equal 7? No. So for this expression, this equation, this is going to be false. So sometimes they can be false. I didn't end up showing that on either of the two examples that I wanted to, but you get the idea. So let's look at our first actual proper example. In this problem, we're asked to find which value for g makes the equation true. We've got 3 values of g that we can choose. We have 3, 5, and 7. We have our expression 2g plus 5 is equal to 15. Now, to do this, we are going to basically do what's called a brute force method. We're just going to plug things in. Sometimes you call this the guess and check method. A few different ways you can call this, but really all that we're going to do is we're going to pick one of our numbers and substitute it in as we've been doing. So let's start with the 3. 2 times 3 plus 5 is equal to 15. Is it actually equal to 15? Let's find out. 2 times 3 is 6. We'll rewrite our expression. 6 plus 5 is 11. Last time I checked, 15 does not equal 11. So 3 cannot be our answer, and we can just cross it out. Let's try it again for 5 this time. We'll have 2 times 5 plus 5 is equal to 15, maybe. Let's find out. 2 times 5 is 10. We rewrite the rest of our equation. 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. And here's something that's true. 15 is definitely equal to 15. So that one is definitely true. Now, it's unlikely that the last one will be true if the other ones worked. But let's just check it out just to practice a little bit more. 2 times 7 plus 5. Remember, all we're doing here is some substitution. We did this before break as well. 2 times 7 is 14 plus 5. Does that equal 15? I think we all know where this is going. Absolutely not. 19 does not equal 15. So we can say very safely that the only value for g here that works is going to be 5. This is, of course, that we're given. There might be some other value for g that works. Maybe. But certainly not in the case that we are given for this problem. So next up is a you-do. Same idea. This time our variable is y. Which value for y makes the equation true? You got the options of 2, 5, and 10. Your equation down there is 2y plus 1 is equal to 21. Think about what it could be. Ready? Go. So there is one more way to do this, and that is called the brute force method. You don't need to take notes on this if you don't want to, this specific example, but I just want to show you how this works. Let's say we don't know what t is equal to. It doesn't give us any options. We can just pick values for t and try them out and see if they work. Now, I'm going to guess that looking at this, you see t plus 3 is equal to 6. I wonder what t could possibly be. But just for the sake of argument, let's say, let's try 1. 1 plus 3, does that equal 6? No. So it's definitely not going to be 1. What about 2? 2 plus 3? Nope, that doesn't equal 6. 5 definitely does not equal 6. So it can't be 2. I should say that these are not equal because they're not equal. Is the third time going to be a charm? 3 plus 3, does that equal 6? Absolutely. Who would have ever thunk that the third one would be the charm? It's almost like I did that intentionally. But this is kind of the idea of the brute force method. Sometimes you also call this guess and check, but it's not actually the best way to do this. There's an easier way to do this, though to be fair, you could probably look at this and figure it out in your head. So things to remember about this video. An equation is true when both sides of your equation are equivalent. That means not necessarily that they're both the same number, but that means that whatever you do after you substitute will give you the same value. They might not look exactly the same to begin with, but after you plug something in, then you're good to go. That's kind of that second point. You need to find a variable for this to be a case in most situations. You might have a numerical equation, but with what we're doing, there's going to be a variable in there at some point. Finally, you can use brute force as a method, but it's not a very good one. In our next video, we're going to talk about the properties of equality, and those are actually going to help you figure out how to find a variable if you don't know what it is, without just having to randomly guess numbers and hope that they work. We'll get to that in the next video, though. Keep an eye out for that. Let's move on to our suggested practice problems. There are technically 2 problems here, but really there's more like 7. In the first set of problems, if b is equal to 6, you're going to determine which expressions are true. There's 4 of them. Some of them aren't going to work, some of them are. You have to test them all. In number 2, you're going to determine which value, if any, is a solution of the equation. This is kind of like the you-do that you guys did, but now you've got 4 options. It could also be that none of them are solutions. That's possible. In which case you can write, after you show all your other work, there are no solutions. Sometimes that's the case. So, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Good luck.